One man just starting his career, probably a month in, finally feels confident enough to let out that he's gay. He told it to maybe just a couple coworkers, and they immediately felt off-put, and they excluded him from work projects, which then led his manager to believe that he was falling behind and was then fired a week later. Similarly, a woman just starting in her career about a month in was asked if she was religious. She answered yes, but instead of getting maybe a neutral response, she gets attacked with questions and accusations. She feels so uncomfortable in the workplace, and eventually her manager comes up to her and says, if you don't stop proselyting, I need to fire you. She didn't feel comfortable in that workplace any longer and decided to just leave her job. Now this man, luckily, he has the ability to have LGBTQ plus support groups for him, but this woman has no one to defend her rights to believe in what she wants to believe. These are two hypothetical stories that were given in a speech regarding religious freedom. Now this was done at a private university and only seen by maybe a couple thousand people, but this message needs to be shared much, much farther. Now religious freedom is something that a lot of people think is maybe inherently ours because it's in our First Amendment. It's being able to believe in whatever you want to believe and be able to worship however you'd like. Now sadly, these rights that we have are under attack, and it is up to us to be able to defend them. I myself, being religious, felt that this was really important in my life, and I took it upon myself to go to multiple conferences and do research to find just what it is that is being under attack, what rights are being under attack, as well as what it is I can do to start defending them. So today I'm going to share that with you. I will share what rights are under attack, how it is that we can all be advocates and defend for it, and what are the first steps that you can start taking today. Now, as I said, the First Amendment also includes the fact that we have religious freedom. And Charles C. Hayes wrote an article in 2003 which is titled Religious Liberty in Public Life. He says that the First Amendment enables us to debate differences, understand one another, and forge policies that serve the common good. Now, if that's truly what the First Amendment can do for us, why is it that people are suffocating this ability to be able to come together, to understand one another, to be able to debate our differences and find commonalities? The fact that this is being under attack and that these rights are being suffocated, as well as the fact that they're under risk for those who need to have them, means that we need to defend them, that we need advocates in this world, which is just another term for saying someone who is going to defend. Specifically, the rights that are under attack are the fact that people can lose their jobs by simply expressing their beliefs in the workplace, similar to the story that I shared with you about the young woman. Also, a doctor's license can be revoked simply by the fact that they refuse to perform an abortion because it's against their religion. There are many other performances that doctors can do, it's not simply abortions, but if they feel that they are doing something that is against their religion and they're uncomfortable about it, if they try and refuse to do it, the license can be revoked. There's also a lot of instances where you're not losing your job, but you feel so uncomfortable that this workplace environment is so tense and intense that people just decide to leave. Now that is not what we need in our workplaces. We need people to feel comfortable and accepted and loved. To further kind of explain religious freedom and put it into words that maybe everyone in our lives can understand, Ronald A. Rasband, the man who used those two hypothetical stories in his speech, specifically said, I'm talking about someone telling you that the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs you have are not popular. Again, these thoughts, feelings, and beliefs you have are inherently yours. It is your right to have them, and it is your right to express them. You need to be able to have these things, and we need to be able to defend them. Now, how is it we do this? As I said, you can be an advocate, but specifically be an advocate with your friends and family and for your friends and family, because this is where it starts. You are able to make the most difference in the relationships you currently have. You don't have to go out into the realm of politics. You don't have to join the school board. You don't have to write a petition. What you can do is start where you already are, lift where you stand. And by doing these things, by strengthening your relationships and being an advocate for those you already have relationships with, you're already going to be an example to them and to those around you of the simple communication and behavioral aspects of being an advocate that can then be spread to multiple other people. Elder Rasband, or Mr. Rasband, he gives us a promise in his speech that says, quote, "Your example of respect and fairness will open doors and create meaningful friendships that you will cherish throughout your life. So by being an example and being an advocate for others means that you are beginning a cycle of acceptance, of tolerance, of love, of being able to have open communication, wherein you will start to be able to make a difference. Because it's only after that workplace environment is changed that we can actually start having these religious rights and these freedoms again. Now, to help you visualize this, I'm going to share a story with you, but I'll make it quick, I promise. This is my mother. This is the day of my graduation. She has been on the school board for multiple years and been in the PTA for many years before that. She was lucky enough to give me my diploma on my graduation day because she decided to be politically active. Now, this is not inherently in her, not like her at all. She doesn't really like being in politics. She doesn't even tell me who she votes for, ever. I've never learned who she votes for. But she felt it was important to be able to stay active because she cared about me. She cared about what I was going to be doing in my life and how my school life was going to affect me, which means she joined the PTA and she is now the vice president of her board. And a story that she shared with me was that when people learned that she was religious, within her specific religion, a couple people that weren't members of the board during her meeting attacked her. And they were very accusational, and when they have a moment to share their personal beliefs, anyone in the public during the school board meeting can come up and share their beliefs, their thoughts, any complaints that they have. And during this, she was attacked during one of those moments. The thing is, in a school board meeting, you can't stop them, you have to let them speak. Being part of the school board doesn't mean that you can just like shut anyone down and be like, okay, you're done. You can remind them like, oh hey, like we do need to let people go, but you can't do much about it. What was amazing though was after the meeting, there's a private meeting wherein just the school board members get together, and that's where she felt the most love and support from everyone in her team, in her office team. So this just goes to show that you can be an advocate. It may not be publicly, obviously. A lot of people saw her being accused, and but what matters more is those personal relationships that she had. The superintendent, who is my mom's good friend as well as now my good friend, he asked questions and he was able to get to know her more, and he became much more understanding, and he's one of the people who understands my mother's religion the most out of everyone on the board, and he's able to be her #1 advocate. So how is it exactly that we can be advocates today? What are the first steps that we can take? Well, as I said earlier, the superintendent on my mom's school board, he asked questions, and that's what I am going to challenge you to do. If you know of a family member or a friend who is religious, maybe you yourself are religious, and you have those around you, start conversations and start asking people what it is they believe, how they believe it, or why is it that they practice or don't practice what they do. But most importantly, after asking questions, you need to become understanding. Not only learning what it is they do, but understanding that if it's different from you, you can still accept it and you can move on, and then you can be there for them just as they can be there for you. Thank you.